Congratulations on your admission to the University of Florida and welcome to the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. This presentation provides an overview of the key pieces of information that you need to know before enrolling at the University of Florida. We'll start with a discussion about admissions conditions that need to be met before your first semester and by the end of your first semester at UF. We'll talk about opportunities within the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, or CLAS. We'll talk about degree requirements and course selection tips. We'll get started with admissions conditions that need to be met prior to enrollment. The first thing we're asking you all to do is please check your conditions on the notice of your admission. Do not enroll in courses if you have not met your conditions. Again, these will be clearly outlined in your notice of admission. Please submit final transcripts as soon as possible, and if you know that you will not meet your admission conditions prior to enrollment, please schedule an appointment or send an email to transferappeals@advising.ufl.edu. Once you have checked your admissions conditions, it's important to note that admission to the University of Florida's College of Liberal Arts and Sciences is specific to major. Decision on admission was based upon the major of which you applied. Expect to pursue the major for which you were admitted, and if you are in doubt, do not enroll. Talk with an advisor in the college or major that you desire. Reapply for a future term for your desired major if the major you were admitted to was not the one you plan on pursuing or graduating with. On that note, we do have a timely graduation policy. All students admitted as a transfer student are expected to finish their degree within 2 years or 4 tracking semesters, which would be 2 fall semesters and 2 spring semesters. Now let's talk about admissions conditions that need to be met by the end of your first semester at the University of Florida. All incoming transfer students must meet critical tracking criteria by the end of your first fall or spring semester. Critical tracking is the University of Florida's monitoring system that assesses students' progress toward their degree requirements. It provides feedback on your progress toward your major, and it helps you find the best academic path forward to complete your degree. Most, if not all, incoming transfer students will be starting with us in Tracking Term 5. That's because most transfer students meet tracking terms 1 through 4 and all of the requirements associated with those tracking terms prior to their enrollment at the University of Florida. If you would like to learn more about your major's specific tracking requirements, you can visit the link underlined at the top of the slide, catalog.ufl.edu/ugrd/. Critical tracking is composed of 3 different components. We have first and foremost the courses that's required for your major. Secondly, we have the critical tracking GPA, which is calculated based off of the grades that you've earned in the coursework that's specifically required for your major. This will incorporate grades earned prior to your enrollment at UF. Lastly, you have your UF GPA. Your UF GPA is calculated strictly based off of the coursework that you've earned while at the University of Florida. This GPA will not incorporate grades earned prior to your enrollment at UF, but it will incorporate all grades earned even if the coursework was not required for your major. Here is an example of what we mean when we talk about meeting tracking semesters 1 through 5. We'll use the political science major as an example. You can look at this on 1.uf in your degree audit as well if you'd like to follow along. Semester 5 critical tracking for political science is as follows. Complete 1, 3, or 4,000 level political science course, have a 2.5 GPA required on all critical tracking coursework, and a 2.0 UF GPA is required on all of your coursework taken at the University of Florida, regardless of it being critical tracking requirements or not. Now let's talk about academic advising. So the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences has a dual advising model where you can see an undergraduate coordinator, which is a faculty member within the department for your major, and you can see a college advisor, which helps with more top-down level advising. So you might be asking, why do I need to see a faculty advisor or undergraduate coordinator within my major department? Well, it's because they are the experts in your specific major. They really will help with the requirements for your major, help answer more granular questions that you might have about coursework within your first semester or subsequent semesters with us. They can also help you get in touch with internship and research opportunities, and they're also a great resource for career opportunities or graduate school options for your major that may be directly aligned or indirectly aligned with your field of study. Please use the QR code in the bottom right corner to take yourself to our webpage. There's a drop-down filter where you can select your major. It will give you the contact information for your undergraduate coordinator. We do ask that you please try and meet with your undergraduate coordinator prior to enrollment at the University of Florida. Now let's talk about the other half of the equation for our dual advising model, and that's meeting with an advisor in the Academic Advising Center in Farrier Hall. Academic advisors within the AAC, or Academic Advising Center, help you understand university and college requirements for graduation, universal tracking and course planning for timely graduation, explanation of academic holds, explanations of placement and prerequisite information for coursework within the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, academic probation, and any sort of petitions or waivers that you might need to fill out. To schedule an appointment with us, you need to visit advising.ufl.edu and fill out our survey underneath the Schedule an Appointment header. You can meet with us either via Zoom or in person, and if you need to, you can always send us an email at advisor@advising.ufl.edu for quick questions. Speaking of quick questions, during specific peak times of the advising season, we do have something called Advising for Quick Questions, where you can quickly drop in for questions that would take no more than 5 minutes for an advisor to help you answer. On top of the advising that we've already discussed, the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences also offers pre-professional advising. We have pre-health and pre-law advising. For our pre-health students, we ask that you go ahead and enroll in our pre-health essentials course. You can do that by visiting the hyperlinked website at the top of the webpage there underneath the pre-health button. We also ask that you join the pre-health listserv for up-to-date information and opportunities that are specific to pre-health students. You can also schedule in-person or Zoom appointments with pre-health specific advisors, or you can send an email to the pre-health team at prehealth@advising.ufl.edu. The same goes for pre-law. For all of our pre-law students, we ask that you please attend Pre-Law 101, which is an information session provided throughout the year. We also ask that you join the pre-law listserv, which is hyperlinked at the website listed right above underneath pre-law. And we also have in-person or Zoom appointments available if you would like to meet with a pre-law advisor. Again, you can also send an email to the pre-law team by emailing prelaw@advising.ufl.edu. Now let's talk about some opportunities that are available to you in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Some of them that we have listed here are very important because all incoming students will need to complete 18 credits of coursework at the 3,000 or 4,000 level that come from outside your major field of study. Many of the students within the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences take advantage of minors, double majoring, or doing a dual degree, certificates, internships, and combination degree programs to help them fulfill this requirement. We ask that you please check the GPA and other requirements needed for some of these opportunities with the help of an academic advisor. If you're interested in one of these opportunities, go ahead and start talking with us soon about this so we can help you plan accordingly and take advantage of the time that you have here with us. Now let's talk about the opportunities that you have to earn honors distinctions within the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. The first opportunity that students have is the Dean's List. This is a semesterly honor awarded to students who have been enrolled full-time and earned a 3.75 semester GPA at the end of that specific semester. This will exclude students who have taken coursework as satisfactory or unsatisfactory, who have had grade changes, or who have used drops or withdrawn, which will be reflected on your transcript as W's. Students also have the opportunity to graduate with honors. Students who have a 3.5 junior/senior level GPA, which means coursework taken during your junior and senior year, have the opportunity to automatically earn cum laude as a distinction at graduation. If you would like to earn magna cum laude, which is high honors, or summa cum laude, highest honors, it requires a 3.5 and some additional information and requirements, which typically include research projects, a thesis, or other coursework that would be required, which will be determined by your undergraduate coordinator for your major. A liberal arts and sciences education is about breadth of learning, and this idea is enshrined in the university's general education requirements and further elaborated by the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences basic distribution requirements. Here in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, we believe that the best preparation for success draws deeply across the full range of the college's offerings. That's why we offer students an opportunity to earn the Dean's Medal. The Dean's Medal takes this principle beyond the basic minimums that are required of all students and recognizes those College of Liberal Arts and Sciences students who have gone above and beyond their pursuit of knowledge in liberal arts and sciences. Earning the Dean's Medal affirms that medal winners have not only undertaken a significant range of coursework, but you've acquired the range of skills and experiences valued by the graduate and professional schools, organizations, employers, and communities. If you are looking for additional honors opportunities, you can join Tau Sigma, which is the National Honor Society for transfer students. Eligibility begins within the first 12 credits that you complete at the University of Florida. You must have earned a 3.5 GPA average amongst those 12 credits, and once you've done that, this opens the door for opportunities for leadership, scholarship opportunities, and involvement in the greater UF and Gainesville community within a group of students who are also transfer students just like you. If you have more questions or would like more information on how to get involved with Tau Sigma, please reach out to Robert Kwong at rkwong@advising.ufl.edu. Going beyond honors distinctions and honors opportunities, we have the Beyond 120 program, which is the professional development and experiential learning program within the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. The Beyond 120 program supports undergraduate students that are specifically part of class by cultivating career readiness through coursework and experience. The College of Liberal Arts and Sciences Beyond 120 program works with alumni, industry leaders, employers, faculty, and parents to connect students with opportunities in the classroom, the workplace, and the world. If you're interested in the Beyond 120 program but don't know where to start, look no further. The professional coursework right here is one of the best ways to get involved with Beyond 120. Some of the courses that we have listed here are offered each semester, including Industry Insights, Introduction to Research, Strategic Self-Marketing, and Global Pathways, which prepare students for international engagement. And we also have the Human Dimensions in Health. If you're interested in this coursework, you can visit their website at advising.ufl.edu/beyond, BEYOND, 120/coursework. We've talked about your admissions conditions and we've talked about opportunities to get involved. Now let's talk about degree requirements so you can graduate with the major that you were just admitted into. We'll begin by saying that all students must earn a minimum of 120 college credits to earn a bachelor's degree. Your major requirements take up about 30 to 36 of those credit hours. You need to earn a minimum grade of a C or higher, and no satisfactory or unsatisfactory, which is also known as pass-fail options, will be allowed for your major-specific coursework. Major courses must be completed within 2 attempts, and if you have questions about sequencing or what classes pair well with each other for your major coursework, we ask that you speak with your undergraduate coordinator about those details. Next, we have your College of Liberal Arts and Sciences basic distribution requirements. These are a little bit of additional requirements on top of your general education requirements. To give you an idea, what we're looking for here is 6 credits of composition coursework, 6 credits of mathematical sciences, 9 credits of humanities, 9 credits of social and behavioral science, 6 credits of physical science, 6 credits of biological science, and 1 credit of a natural science lab. Next, we have the foreign language proficiency requirement. All students that are a part of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences must demonstrate proficiency through the introductory sequence of a language. That means either having beginning 1 and beginning 2, or just beginning 2, or just intermediate 1, which would again demonstrate proficiency through the beginning sequence. Lastly, we have your 18 credits of elective coursework that's required to be taken at the 3,000 or 4,000 level or higher. That has to come also from outside of your major field of study. This is what we mentioned a bit earlier when we talked about opportunities to use that for minors or maybe doing a double major, dual degree, or combination degree. To further elaborate on the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences basic distribution requirements includes general education requirements plus additional College of Liberal Arts and Sciences general education requirements. All general education requirements are met with an associate's degree from a public institution in Florida, but not all basic distribution requirements are met with an associate's degree. Florida State University transfer students without an associate's degree or out-of-state and private school transfer students must also meet the Florida State Core General Education requirements, which include Quest 1 and Quest 2. All of this should be discussed with an academic advisor during your advising appointment. Here is a visual demonstrating what the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences basic distribution requirements are. So composition is 6 credits again, mathematical sciences is 6 credits again. 3 of those credits must have a math prefix or be known as a pure math course. Then we also need 9 credits total of humanities. 3 of these credits must be Quest 1 unless you have your associate's degree earned. You also have those 9 credits of social behavioral sciences that are required, 6 credits of physical science, 6 credits of biological science, 1 credit of a natural science lab, and 6 credits of international and diversity science studies. Those are the only 2 requirements, international and diversity, that can be overlapped with other degree requirements within basic distribution. For example, you can earn credit toward the humanities and toward international or diversity at the same time, but you could not earn credit for humanities and social and behavioral sciences at the same time from one course. Requirements automatically met with the associate's degree from the Florida State College or Florida State University system are shown with an asterisk, and Quest 2 requirements can have many different general education attributes, so please be aware of that if you are going to be taking Quest 2, so you can plan accordingly and take care of 2 requirements at the same time. Now, when I mentioned the foreign language proficiency requirement, you may have sat there and asked yourself, do I need to take a foreign language course at UF? The short answer is yes. The long answer is unless you have one of the following, which would essentially be college level credit offered and awarded by an AP score of a 3 or above, an IB score of a 4 or above, ACE foreign language exam scores of A or E, CLEP credit, satisfactory completion of a first-year language sequence at the college level, for example, Spanish 1 and Spanish 2, which is SPN 1120 or SPN 1130, and SPN 1121 or SPN 1131. Now, if you're sitting there and saying, well, I don't have one of those met, how else can I meet my proficiency at UF? Well, this next option is primarily for heritage speakers or students who have an in-depth background or history with a language. That is going to be the FLPE, or the Foreign Language Proficiency Exam. This is a proficiency test for languages except for Chinese Mandarin and Russian. If you also have a significant history with the language or are fluent, there are other options to meet proficiency, but we ask that you speak with an academic advisor by scheduling an appointment with us to discuss those options in more depth. Lastly, we need to talk about satisfactory completion of a first-year sequence in one language from the point of placement. For example, with Spanish again, if you place into SPN 1131, meaning that you can move beyond SPN 1130, you do still need to take Spanish 2, SPN 1131. If you place beyond SPN 1131, then we would want you to meet with an academic advisor to discuss your options at that point. When you're thinking about the foreign language proficiency requirement, this is also your opportunity to think outside of the box and take advantage of your status as a student at the University of Florida. All of these languages that are listed on this slide are offered to students at the University of Florida, and taking the introductory sequence will help you meet your foreign language proficiency requirement. This might be your one opportunity to study one of these languages that you may never have had an opportunity prior. So just because you have experience from a language that you took in high school doesn't mean that that should be the language that you set on to finish in your college career. If you would like to take a placement exam for Spanish specifically, we do have the WebCape online placement test. If you Google UF WebCape online placement test, it will take you straight to our webpage that will give you more information on how to access this resource to figure out what Spanish class would be best for you to place into. Again, the placement is different than proficiency. If you're looking for a placement, use WebCape. If you're looking to demonstrate proficiency, use the foreign language proficiency exam mentioned in the slide right before this one, or have a department consultation to see where you should begin or if you've already met proficiency. If you want to take French in college and you have some sort of French background, this is our placement for where you should start within French. If you've taken French 1 in grades 9 through 12, you should start in Beginning French 1 FRE 1130. If your highest course was French 2 in grades 9 through 12, then you should take FRE 1134, which is the Accelerated French Review for the beginning sequence. Taking FRE 1134 will satisfy the foreign language proficiency requirement. If your highest course was French 3 or 4 in grades 9 through 12, then we recommend beginning in FRE 2200 Intermediate French 1. If you would like to test yourself and learn more about placement for French, you can also use the WebCape online placement test for this as well. Last but certainly not least, when we're talking about your degree requirements, we have elective coursework. Now, to get started with electives, within liberal arts and sciences, 18 credits of electives must be taken at the 3000 level or higher, and they need to come from outside of your major or department. Remember that these can be courses that you could use to maybe pick up a minor, pick up another major, maybe do a combination degree, do some internship credit, or study abroad. Now, there are some certain 2000 level natural science and math courses that will count even though they're not 3000 level. For example, we have Organic Chemistry 2 plus the Organic Chemistry 2 lab, Calculus 2, and Physics 2 plus the Physics 2 lab. Now, this last bullet point here is your quote-unquote free electives. This is any coursework that you have remaining that will help you get to 120 college credits to earn that bachelor's degree, which again is a minimum of 120 college credits. Those free electives can be taken at any level and will count toward that 120 credit level so that you can earn that bachelor's degree. After hearing all that information, you're probably asking yourself, well, what classes should I take in my first semester? Well, first and foremost, your tracking courses and other major specific courses, that's what you should be putting on your schedule first and foremost. After that, you want to have your other unmet requirements kind of prioritized on your schedule. For example, that's going to be some of those basic distribution requirements that you may not have met with your associate's degree, your foreign language requirement, or those 3000 level electives that you need to be working toward. Lastly, you can also look at your degree audit, but keep in mind that you may be missing some of your coursework because your final transcripts and associate's degree may not be posted yet. If you're having difficulty, please speak with an academic advisor to have them help evaluate your incoming credit and make suggestions on what you should take in your first semester. But at the end of it all, the key to building a good first semester schedule is balance. A distribution of requirements while avoiding overload is important and key for your success in your first semester at the University of Florida. Since we were just talking about your transcripts and your courses transferring over, let's talk about transfer credit evaluation. If you took coursework at the college level in the state of Florida at a public institution, then you are going to have coursework coming in using the common numbering system, which is an automatic evaluation for equivalency. For example, PSY 1012 is the same as UF's PSY 2012. The Florida State Common Numbering System means that the first 3 letters and the last 3 numbers are the same. That means it's a direct equivalency. So that first number not being the same is not going to bar that course from being evaluated as a direct equivalent. Now, courses that were not in the Common Numbering System, meaning maybe you took courses from out of state or from a private institution, they are going to need to be evaluated for equivalency. Some of these will already have been evaluated for you, some of them may not be. For example, if you bring in credit for PSY 102, that's going to come into the University of Florida as PSY L000, meaning that's a lower division transfer course. Class advisors can help you with basic distribution and elective substitution, But if it's for your major specifically, you will need to speak with department advisors to help with substitution for those courses. Here is a fantastic sample schedule for you to kind of model your own sample schedule after. This is going back to our trusty political science example that we used earlier in the slideshow, and you'll see that this student is prioritizing their tracking/major coursework first by taking that 3000 level poli-sci course that they needed, which is going to be Western European politics. Next, this student prioritized some of those requirements that they had not yet met with their associate's degree, so they're going to be working on their foreign language requirement by taking Beginning Chinese 1 and their physical science requirement by taking Extreme Weather. Next, they have their elective coursework that they're taking this semester. It looks like they have an interest in a business minor, so they're taking a class toward the business minor, and they're also taking a Beyond 120 course to get some practical experiential learning in there as well. You'll notice that both of these classes that are electives are also counting toward their 3/4000 level electives that are coming from outside of their poli-sci major, so it's helping with that specific college requirement as well. Again, the key for your schedule is balance, and this is a fantastically balanced schedule, so you should aim to try and have the same amount of balance if possible. And again, if you have questions or need help with picking out coursework, speak with an academic advisor. Now that we've talked about what you should have on your first semester schedule, we should probably talk about how to actually register for your first semester schedule. The screenshot that you're looking at right now is an actual photo of the registration portal that you will be using to register for your first semester schedule. The first thing that we want to point out to you is the course number and the class number boxes here. That first box, course number, is where you'll actually put in those first 3 letters and 4 digits for that specific course that you're looking for. And here on the right where it says getting started, it will display a list of options for you to pick from, which will have different class times and different professors for that specific course number. Once you've found a specific course that you would like with your right professor and your right time, you might want to grab the class number, which is the box to the right of course number. It's going to be a 5-digit code that will take you directly to that specific section of that class. You can also filter out your courses by department. So if you are a major that just says take a 3000 level political science course in your first semester, you can filter this out by the department for political science and then use other filters down here like the credit and course level or the general education tab to help you filter out more requirements even further down. Here is an example of one of those filters being used in action. This student searched up specifically courses that would be counting toward their general education humanities requirement. You'll notice here that it's listing every single class in an alphanumeric order from top to bottom on what's going to be satisfying the humanities requirement. Going off of the very first option we have here, Issues in American Literature and Culture, Writing in the West, it'll give you the full title of the course, and then onto the far right, it will tell you how many seats are available for that class. Underneath that, there's going to be a brief course description letting you know what that class is about. And then at the end there, in parentheses, it's letting you know what general education requirements it would be satisfying. In this case, it would be composition or humanities. And also in this course's case, this one's helping with your writing requirement, which is what the WR stands for. Underneath that, it's going to let you know what prerequisite coursework you would need to have completed prior to enrolling in this course. For this example, ENC 1101 or test score equivalency would satisfy the prerequisite information needed. At this point in the presentation, we've talked about your admissions conditions, how to get involved in the college, what you need to have on your first semester schedule, and actually how to register for your first semester schedule. So you're probably asking, what's next? Well, on this website, you'll be able to sign and send in your transfer student agreement. Please have that sent in prior to enrolling in coursework at the University of Florida. You will also need to complete the Class Transfer Transition Canvas course. More details are available on the website that this presentation recording lives on. You also should schedule a time to meet with your undergraduate coordinator to go over some of that information that we talked about earlier in this presentation. And then finally, you'll be able to register on your own on the last day of preview at 10:30 a.m. So if you're unable to attend orientation, the last session that's being offered during that specific time frame is going to be when you're able to register again at 10:30 a.m. If you have questions about your admission conditions, prerequisite issues, or registration problems, please contact us. If you're having prerequisite issues, send that over to advisor@advising.ufl.edu and give us 3 business days to respond to your request. If you have questions about your admissions conditions, please email us at transferappeals@advising.ufl.edu. And if you have registration issues or would just like to have a deeper conversation about what we talked about during this presentation, please schedule an appointment by visiting advising.ufl.edu.